going through all the stuff everyone's been sharing, it really feels like this whole idea of like finding a sense of calm,
Yeah.
amidst all the chaos. It's a big thing right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for this deep dive, we're going to get super practical and look at how to actually like cultivate inner peace, especially when you find yourself alone with your thoughts.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it actually ties in perfectly with what the LPot community has been exploring in their Being Alone series.
Oh, cool.
They're on like their second discussion now, and they're really digging into this idea that when you approach those moments of solitude with intention, they can actually become a real source of strength and tranquility and, just that inner peace we're talking about.
So that's the mission for us today then, to kind of pull out some actionable steps from their discussion that, anyone listening can use right away to transform those alone times into a chance to recharge and find some peace.
I'm into it.
All right, let's dive in.
Let's go.
So the LPot community kicks things off by talking about this idea of cultivating stillness, which sounds so simple, right? But in our world where everything's always go, 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 it can feel like a pretty revolutionary concept.
It really can. And what's so fascinating here is how much our internal state kind of mirrors our external environment, right? Like if your space is cluttered, your mind tends to feel cluttered too.
Yeah.
And so intentionally creating these moments of stillness, both physically and mentally, it gives that internal noise a chance to settle.
Oh, I like that.
And the series highlights that being alone, it actually offers a unique opportunity for this because you've naturally minimized those external distractions.
Right, yeah.
Makes sense.
And what I love is that the step they suggest is so doable, like just setting aside a few quiet moments each day.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be this huge chunk of time. Even 5 minutes of just sitting in silence and focusing on your breath can make a world of difference in releasing that built-up tension we all carry.
Totally. And that actually leads perfectly into their next point, which is all about the power of mindful breathing.
It's true. It's like having this instant reset button you can access anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. Think of your breath as an anchor
Mm-hmm.
when your mind is racing. Just bringing your awareness back to that simple act of breathing, the inhale, the exhale, it immediately brings you back to the present moment.
Grounding.
Grounding, yeah.
Yeah.
And the deep breathing exercise they mentioned, it's so classic, like that slow inhale through the nose, little pause, gentle exhale.
Yeah, yeah.
It works because it's directly influencing your nervous system, signaling your body to relax.
And it really does work.
It does.
They also talk about journaling, which is something I find so helpful.
Oh, me too.
Like, it's not about writing the next great novel or anything.
Yeah.
It's more about just mindfully putting pen to paper to help you process your emotions and see things a little more clearly.
Absolutely. And what's insightful about that is the act of writing things down, it creates a little bit of space between you and your thoughts.
Oh, that's good.
You can observe them without immediately reacting.
That's so true.
Yeah. And a mindfulness journal, as they suggest, becomes this space where you can track those thoughts and feelings that come up when you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it can give you some really interesting insights into your inner world.
It's like decluttering your mental space, which connects so well with their next point about embracing the present moment.
Yes.
They talk about how those feelings of loneliness or that unease we sometimes feel when we're alone, it often comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. And mindfulness brings us right back to what's actually happening now.
It does. And it's about actively engaging your senses. Like, what do you see right now? What sounds are you hearing? Can you feel the temperature of the air on your skin?
Right.
These little acts of observation without judgment, it pulls you out of those mental loops and brings you right back to reality.
Being present in your own company.
Exactly.
And the final piece of this whole mindful approach to being alone is about accepting your feelings, whatever they are, without judgment.
Yeah, such a powerful one.
They describe mindfulness as acknowledging those emotions as they come up, without trying to push them away or change them.
Yeah.
Acceptance, they say, is the key to finding peace.
This is probably the most challenging part, especially when you're dealing with those tougher emotions.
Oh, for sure.
But the idea is to just create space for those feelings to exist.
Okay.
Acknowledge them like, okay, I'm feeling a bit anxious right now. And then without getting caught up in that story of why you're feeling that way, just allow it to be there, knowing that all emotions, they're temporary.
They come and go.
They do.
So bringing it all together, the LPot Community's Being Alone series, specifically this second discussion, it gives us these 5 really practical and powerful tools for finding that inner peace when we're alone. Cultivating stillness, practicing mindful breathing, writing down our thoughts, embracing the present moment, and accepting our feelings.
And I love how it reframes those times we might typically think of as just being alone into these opportunities for self-discovery and for cultivating a deeper sense of inner peace.
Here's a thought to leave you with, how might intentionally setting aside even just a few minutes each day for one of these practices change your whole experience of being alone?
Mm.
Which one of these speaks to you the most right now? Maybe that's the perfect place to start.
I love that.
Yeah,
I might have to try that myself.
me too. All right, thanks for diving into this with me.
This was great.
Until next time.
See ya. Bye.